Right, time for another Combat Patrol painting video. Finally catching myself up with these. So we are painting the Termagants from issues 7 and 8. Now, as those of you who have been watching, I've been doing a palette swap. So basically my Tyranids are basically done in the ultramarine colours, and my ultramarines are being done in my Tyranid colours. So it's a nice little palette swap just to give something different, because I felt there was not really much point in just going through the guides and doing exactly what was there. So what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and paint the Termagants going from basically plain. Now, I have undercoated mine using Adeptus Standard Grey with a Gracia contrast. However, you don't have to do the undercoat really. You can use a base like McCraig Blue straight over the top. So these are the three processes we're going to go through. So starting with either a undercoated model, or if not, you can just use the straight grey. And what I've done is I've kind of thinned my paint out over on my wet palette over here. If you don't have a wet palette, a dry palette will do. It's just really about thinning out the paint. Now, what I'm going to do is going to get my first layer on. Straight away I've seen that I've made that far too watery, so I need to get it so that it's the right consistency. You know what, we all make these kind of mistakes sometimes, so I just want it, I don't want it thick, but I don't want it completely watery. However, I want it to flow like this, so you can see, or should be able to see, that my paint is flowing quite nicely. I hope you notice that I am using a standard brush as well that you get. I'm pretty certain we got this with one of the kits, but again, I'm trying to be kind of using the brushes for the most part that we actually got with Combat Patrol. Now what I'm trying to do as well is follow the natural flow of the armor plate as well on this. Going from the top of the head downwards. It just, I find that so much easier when painted anything Tyranid related if you follow the natural flow of the model. Now, this is only my first coat. And you know, I am not good at painting while doing videos. To be quite honest, I find it so difficult. Particularly from this kind of position where I'm kind of looking at the model through the camera rather than through my own eyes, and I personally find that makes it so much harder for me. But you know, but that's something that I would hope maybe the more I do it, the more I'll get used to doing it. I personally find if you get your consistency of your paint just right, it almost flows down the model quite, almost like naturally, just heads down all the different kind of the direction just about right. That's my personal experience. Definitely find it very difficult to have the camera on like this, and then I'm kind of trying my utmost to paint straight while keeping the model pointed at the camera, which isn't easy for me, that. So what I'm doing here, I'm just trying to get a good flow. Okay, and then moving on from there, these last leg armour plates now, again, just try and follow the natural flow of the model. Try and keep your paint nice and thin too, to make it so much easier as you go along, like so. Now, trying to get behind is always difficult, and then that just takes time, patience and practice in the end to get behind bits of models like that, like I've just done there. Okay, so and now I've got my son in the room wondering when I'm going to stop this video, and I'm going to stop it in a minute, Alex, I promise, but I'm going to finish what I'm doing first. And he's trying to distract me now, he thinks it's funny. Actually, Alex, I'm trying to do a serious video here. Alright, I'm going to pause my video for a second while I kill my son, and then I'll show you the next layer. Alright, little intermission over and done with there. It's like a general rule of thumb in the UK that you have to feed your children. I know it's getting out of hand, this the rights of children. Anyway, right, here's second layer. So as you can see, I've got one here where a second layer is dried up, and it's very clearly streaky. It's not got the nice solid colour that I want, which this one is closer to having, although, you know, it's not perfect yet. Because the hard part is you've got some very difficult little areas to paint with such a thick brush as this standard starter one, which means that I'm probably going to have to flip across to one of my, still not my best quality brushes, but my cheaper brushes that I get for the range, which can be good for doing little details. But you can see the second layer now is definitely a lot quicker going on. And I myself would rather do 3 well done layers than just plastering on one thick one. Which is something I wish, you know, I'd known about years ago, like when I first started out, but it was just never as, you know, you didn't have huge numbers of YouTube channels and resources to teach you these things. So you had to either work them out for yourselves, which, to be quite honest, is not something, to my mind, it's not what you might call intuitive, as in, like, it's not something that I would have just thought, oh, right, yeah, use 2 thin coats, 2-3 thin coats to get it right. But there we go, you can see now it's definitely better and more layered on now. Definitely a lot better. You can see that one now that it's drying a bit. Needs another coat, as do all of these ones, which I've got going. Same with these, the Ripper Swarm, it's like same basic logic. I've done a single coat on that, so they're partially ready to move along now. But that's how, that's where we should be up to if we're pretty much following the guides as laid out in Combat Patrol. So basically we should have our 10 Termagants done. I still need to do this one. I left that one unpainted just on the off chance that I made a mistake during this tutorial and I had to redo it. So again, it's just a matter of getting that first layer on. Which I will work on once I've finished this video, to be quite honest. I don't think I need to show you repeating myself, but there we go, you see, same basic approach. And then once that's done, I'm going to make sure I layer all of these over, and then that'll be it. This will be where the correct place that these are up to. So for now, I'm going to finish up. I'm going to do the rest of these off camera because, you know, obviously don't see the point of me sitting here for the next hour doing exactly the same thing. But please, you know, like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.